So now we're going to talk about bobs and breathing. Some of this has already been talked about, and for some students you may already be through all of this, but we always make sure we come back and have a good handle on this. So I really work with people. They talk about wanting to hold their breath, or do I blow out or do I not blow out? What's the rationale? What do you do? And I say, if you're up on land, you don't go and then walk and then and then walk and then you just don't do that, right? You get some kind of and then you get to keep walking. Otherwise, you wear out. So the same thing's true in the water. You're working for an inhale, exhale process that works for you. And you got to find out what that is and how it works for you. So at this point, we start with the simplest, which is we're breathing in and we're breathing out. We're breathing in and we're breathing out, and then we're breathing in and we're breathing out in the water. And there are lots of ways to do it. So one way is to go you get the idea. And you can do it all the way underwater or just with your eyes there. It doesn't matter. With your eyes there, with your mouth just right in the water. You can just get them used to that process. There are going to be some people at this point in time who still are scared that if they put their face in the water or if they put their mouth or nose in the water, they're going to inhale. If they are, tell them, don't do it. It's not fun. Wait. Make sure before you put yourself in the water that you're not going to breathe in. The only thing you're going to do is breathe out, and that's critical. It's miserable to suck in the water with your mouth, with your nose, it doesn't matter. So trust them for that one, okay? So you can blow out here, you can come back up, and so what we do is now begin to breathe. So assuming they're okay here, we start playing with patterns. So you can do this quickly, right? You can go, and when they come up, they're going to be tired because that's hyperventilation, and so you don't want to do that. And so, and you can let them play with it just to see, but then begin to go at a more reasonable pace, a more comfortable pace, and get them used to that. Some people will be really happy going, then coming back up. Now, all the way underwater for these, but this lets me talk to you better. Or some people will be able to stay down for a long time. And so get them to play, get them to do that, and say when they come back up after they've done 3 or 4 or 5 bobs, how's that feel? Are you gasping for air? Gee, you need to breathe a little more often. Are you feeling like you're winded because you're hyperventilating? You need to breathe a little less. And get them used to this, and honestly, get them used to bobbing so that they can be underwater and above water for a minute and come back up and breathe comfortably. Just play. It can be the thing you do every single time. So, just to be clear, here's what we're talking about. Once they get it and they're comfortable with it, they've got it. They're going to use it. They're going to use it in freestyle. They're going to use it in breaststroke. They're going to use it with all the underwater stuff we do. It doesn't matter. This is a really simple thing, but it's critical for them not to be winded. The reason a whole lot of people who are really physically fit get to the end of a 25 freestyle exhausted is because they're not breathing right and they don't have a pattern for that out and in. If you dump all the air out of your lungs in the water, you get rid of all the carbon dioxide, you come back up with empty lungs, ready to breathe in all this wonderful oxygen and go forward. So that's what we've got going with that. So these are bobs. These are preparations for deep water bobs, and they're good practice. So you sit like you're sitting in a chair, or you can even put your feet out in front of you, whichever way you like. You're going to get close to the water, like she is now, up to your neck, and then you're going to pull your hands out of the water. And pulling your hands out of the water and up, it's going to cause you to sink. We talked about that when we talked about drowning. You're putting weight above you, putting it to the air, you're giving gravity more to push down on. It's going to push your head under the water. When it pushes your head under the water, blow out. When you're ready to come up for a breath, you're going to push your hands up. It's going to push you up. When you get your breath, you're going to start to sink back down, throw your hands back up. It'll let you sink further. And when you're ready to come back up, you're going to push out on the side. So we'll watch as Denise does these, okay? So she's going to pull her hands up. It pushes her under. She's blowing bubbles. When she's ready to come up and breathe, she pushes there, comes back down, same thing. So nice and steady. If you go too fast, you'll feel like you're hyperventilating. If you go too slow, you'll come up and you'll be gasping. Find a place that's a balance for you. Ideally, you don't want this to be all done with your legs. You don't want to be pushing up and down with your legs. You want to be pushing up and down with your hands and letting your hands actually drop you underwater. That's where you're going, and that's beautiful.